Welcome to Mainland, your local regional television station. I'm Graham O'Brien, and some of the stories coming up in our Nelson Tasman Regional News Roundup. Money for birds, Nelson on SPCA shame list, conditions are still dry after rain, and more. The SPCA's annual list of shame highlights the reality of animal cruelty in New Zealand and demonstrates why the SPCA is such an important charity. Nelson is on this shame list at number 22 of the severest cruelty cases listed. In this particular incident, an 8-month-old cat was found drowned in a sack in Nelson. The owner of the microchipped cat had searched high and low looking for him for 2 months. The person or persons responsible have not yet been found. Chrissy Small spoke to Nelson SPCA manager Donna Wazell about this case and got an update on the Nelson SPCA adoption status.
Donna, look, the figures have just come out, or the worst cases for the New Zealand SPCA are now out in a report. We've got one on that report at number 22. Tell us about some of these sad cases that you have to deal with here.
So there's quite a few that come through, and they're not widely publicised. We do tend to keep them in-house a little bit. That one particular was a cat that was found in a sack. The sack was had food in it, and the cat was thrown into water down at Stoke. We didn't do forensics on the cat, so we don't know that the cat was alive when it was thrown in there, but we presume it probably was because there was actually food in the bag with the cat. Just absolutely devastating, like why somebody would do that to somebody's beloved pet is just absolutely horrific. Unfortunately, we never found we found the owner for that cat, but we never found a person responsible, so nobody's really been held accountable for that. So it's really sad. Yeah. Okay,
so look, was there a spate of cats disappearing around that area at the time?
Not that I'm aware of. We do get a lot of missing cats, though. We get a lot of reports daily, really, of cats going missing around the area, and some of them just never seem to turn back up. So you don't know what's going on out there.
Do you think that there was a bit of a bounty put on cats there a while ago from one of our prominent New Zealanders that may have spurred people into action?
I think there certainly is a movement towards people keeping their cats inside, and maybe some neighbours that are people that are really passionate about birds and things, and neighbours' gardens. There is a bit of a movement there, and we are a New Zealand, a country of pet lovers. We absolutely love our cats and we like to own them. So there's always going to be a little bit of conflict there. I think it's just about managing that, really.
Right, Donna. Now look, We've got Guy Fawkes coming up. Okay, this is an ideal opportunity to talk about that. What can people do to keep their pets safe?
So it's really important, especially around Guy Fawkes, to obviously keep them inside. If you can, play some music, shut all the curtains and things like that. Leave the TV going so it disguises the noise as well as the flashing. Just things like that. Be around for your pets. If they do want to hide, leave them there. Don't try and pull them out. It's really important that they've got a safe place where they can go to. So, yeah, but just be there for them, really.
Right. And what about people with fireworks? Is there a bit of advice for them at this time?
Definitely. Let your neighbours know that you're going to be setting them off is really important. And if you can, just keep it to Guy Fawkes night. That's great, because then people know that it's going to happen on that night and they can prepare for it. I think accidents happen and pets get scared when people don't have a chance to prepare.
Now, Donna, I've just had a look around. You've got no dogs in the cages out here. You've got one cat that I can see, and he's a smoocher.
Absolutely.
But tell me, how is it going for rehoming animals at the moment?
Yeah, we're doing really well at the moment. It's just coming up to the season where we will start to get a bit busier, but we've been really fortunate actually that we haven't had many animals here of late, so it's been absolutely lovely. It's given us a chance to have a bit of a catch up and a bit of a clean up, and it's been lovely. So we're all prepared now for the busy season that's ahead of us.
Okay, now when we talk about busy season, we're talking about lots of little babies, furry little cute clawy babies.
Absolutely, kitten season is coming up, so yeah, we will have kittens available probably in the next couple of months. All our cats are desexed, they're all vaccinated, they're all microchipped, so we do try and make sure that they've got the best possible start to life.
Okay, now this little chap over here, he's quite a big chap actually. Has he been here long?
No, he hasn't been here long. He was actually caught here on site actually. We set a trap up at our barn one night. I saw a cat running around and we caught him, so he was caught here, so he must have belonged to somebody possibly, but he wasn't desexed de-sexed, so we've de-sexed him and now we put him up for adoptions. Yeah, he's quite smoochy. Doesn't like being in that cage though.
No. So anybody who lives locally that may have lost their cat, they really need to come to the SPCA and claim them.
Definitely, give us a call. Yeah.
Okay, Donna, well look, I know it's a busy season coming up. How are you going for donations?
Yeah, well, it's our appeal week this week too, so we've got collection stalls around Stoke, Richmond and Nelson, so yeah, look out for our collections and any donations are greatly received.
Okay. All right, Donna, well thank you very much and best of luck. Let's hope it's not a productive season for pussycats.
Absolutely not. Well, we've just had the de-sexing caravan, so we're really hoping we're on top of it this year.
Yeah. Great, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Sport Tasman is running the annual Give It a Go campaign to help get people out and about trying something new. I talked with two experts in the field, Wendy and Jenny, to find out more of what Sport Tasman is doing in our community. We know Sport Tasman always has something on the go. Can you please tell us what's going on in the community coming up this month?
So we've got the Give It a Go program that we run every Wednesday, and that's more based towards the elderly population, so we have them come down and try some new activities out. So we've been really lucky, we've got croquet coming on board, and we've got table tennis and also some badminton coming up every Wednesday.
That's fantastic, and they're pretty popular?
Very popular. It's been really good. We've got people from all different walks of life coming and having a go at some new sports and being able to continue that on in the future.
And are they usually down here at Saxon Field or out in the communities?
So we've been very lucky. We're out in the community with some of the sporting groups that are actually coming and helping us and giving us some instruction. So we do sometimes meet here, but we let them know before we go.
Oh, great. Well, we'll let people know when those are coming up.
Great.
And what else have we got coming up? I hear we've got some awards for some lucky people. Can you tell us more about that, please?
We have indeed. We've got the Tasman Secondary School Sport Awards coming up on Sunday, November the 8th at Theatre Royal here in Nelson. And that's where we acknowledge the sporting success of our secondary school students right across the Nelson Tasman region. Kids have represented Tasman events, South Island and New Zealand secondary school events, and it's also an opportunity for us to acknowledge those that have achieved at New Zealand and international level as well.
It must be huge because we've got a lot of up-and-coming sports talent in Nelson.
We have, we've got a great range of sports awards to give out this year. We've got weightlifting and table tennis and rugby and netball and the usual stuff as well. But there's also some really exciting kids coming through that have made some fantastic achievements in their sport. It's great.
We look forward to hearing the results from that award ceremony.
Yeah, definitely. We can't give anything away. You've got to be there on the day.
Wendy, Jenny, thanks very much for your time, and we look forward to all the things coming up for the community in the next month.
Fantastic.
Great,
Thank you.
The next sport on the list to try is table tennis, and I spoke with committee member of Table Tennis Nelson, Ted Priest, about the sport and club. Ted, table tennis is featured in the Give It a Go schedule coming up next month. Doesn't look like you need much promotion. Can you tell us a little bit about your group here?
On a Monday and Friday morning we have what's known as a social table tennis. It's open to anyone, any age. We have people here from primary school kids through to nearly 90 and they all play competitively and have a lot of fun, and that's on Monday mornings and Friday mornings every week. We only knock off for a few weeks at Christmas time, so it's hot and cold and anything in between.
Oh, it's great, it's all inside. And you have a very big membership for the Monday and Wednesdays?
We have a base group of about 60 members and registered members here, and normally each week we're getting 30 to 40 players coming along Mondays and Fridays, so it's good.
It certainly is. I mean, everyone's so active and enjoying themselves here.
It's a game. Table tennis is a game that you can play at any age, from birth to death, and we've got one player playing competitive who's 94, which is amazing because a lot of people can't stand up at that stage. and our youngest one's in early primary school, so it just gives you an idea of when you can play, how you can play, and the level you can play at depends on you.
Sure. And does and often sports clubs spill out into social activities? Do you get up to much after table tennis?
We have a dinner 2 or 3 times a year, and on a Friday morning after our normal play, we have a group that meet just for a bit of socialising for an hour or two, and that depends on how people are and what other commitments they have. So, but it's all very interesting. Have about a dozen there.
Great, Ted. Thanks very much for your time, and I'll let you get back to your practice.
Thanks very much.
FSL Foods is a local business, and owners Mike and Glenys Glover have given a generous gift to the non-profit organisation Birds of New Zealand. I spoke with Mike about this gift and why he has become involved with Birds of New Zealand. Mike, thanks for taking a few minutes to talk to us. Could you please tell us a bit more about the very generous gift that you and your wife Glenys have made?
Yes, of course. My wife and I decided about 4 or 5 months ago that we needed to make a contribution back into the community that had supported us. And we looked around for things that we wanted to do. We decided that there'd be 2 things that we were going to look at. One was the environment and the other one was education. So we asked our staff what kind of things that they would see that we could contribute to. And out of that process came the idea of Birds New Zealand. Mutual friendship between our finance director and Ingrid at Birds New Zealand meant that we then followed it up, talked to them, started to understand a bit about what they did. They were a voluntary organisation, and they do some very, very interesting work with birds. They are a very academic body, and that was something that appealed to us. The fact that they didn't get a lot of money also appealed to us, because we felt that any money that we gave to them would be valued, and that they would work hard to make it work for them. And so we negotiated an arrangement where we will contribute $100,000 over 3 years, which is about 30-odd thousand a year. We've put very few constraints on it. We don't ask to be involved in the projects. What we say is we trust you to spend the money. They will put some of it towards their publications, which is probably their biggest cost, but 2/3 of it will go towards specific projects.
Gosh, yeah, there's the Nelson who. It's not what you know, it's who you know coming through for us, isn't it?
It's a wee bit like that. Yeah, so it's a very, very small community, Nelson, and we were very, very pleased that we could find something that the staff bought into, and that also we could see would fit with exactly with our objectives in this process.
Yeah, it's a great example of why we should support local companies. You know, they're putting back into our community, and obviously you must be doing quite well to be able to make this generous gift.
Yeah, I mean, we've been around for 12 years, and over the course of that period, we've grown substantially. We now are a national company. Our Fruscio brand of frozen fruits is available in supermarkets, mainly the foodstuffs chain of supermarkets. And basically 1 in every 3 bags of frozen fruit that's sold through foodstuffs is our brand. And we only started that process 5 or 6 years ago of putting our brand in. It's been a journey, and but what it has allowed us to do is to create a profitable company which employs local people here in Nelson, even though that we have employees outside Nelson, but the bulk of it, our head office, is in Nelson.
Mike, thanks very much for your time, and thanks very much for the efforts you're doing for the community.
Thank you very much.
In this age of electronic devices, any ideas that get kids reading books is one to be promoted. Renee Lang and her pet therapy dog Quanda initiated a Reading to Dog event at the Nelson Public Library that received a pat of approval from local kids last Tuesday. I spoke with Renee about her novel idea and her best friend Quanda. Renee, we have dogs in the library today. It's quite unusual. Can you tell us a little bit about what's going on down here at the library today?
Great pleasure, as long as she keeps still. This is Quanda, and she's a Labrador Retriever cross, and she started life as a guide dog, but she's now my forever dog, and she's such a smart, clever girl that I thought that she deserved more of a career than just a dog at home. So here she is at the library. And what she's going to be doing today is encouraging kids to read to her, and the whole idea behind that is to give kids confidence in reading aloud, because clearly a dog's going to be very non-judgmental.
And is this the first time that you've done this reading with the dogs, or have you done it in other places?
No, this is an absolute first for both the dog and for me. Yeah.
And do you use Quanda anywhere else in the community?
She recently qualified as a pet therapy dog, which means that she can go into rest homes and well, probably not hospitals per se, but rest homes, retirement villages, anywhere where people are kind of stuck indoors and don't have the opportunity to interact with other people and animals as you would in everyday life. So she's very popular when she does that.
I was going to say, you must get a fantastic response when you bring a big, lovely dog like this into the retirement homes.
Well, it's all about her because she's the centre of attention and she just loves that, yeah.
All right, well, we'll let you get on with it, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the kids' reactions with reading to dogs.
Cool, okay, thanks very much, Graham.
Kiwi Bank Local Hero Awards, which are part of the New Zealander of the Year Award, has recognised Victory community nurse Penny Molnar as a local hero, whose selflessness and determination has made a difference in the local community. I caught up with Penny to talk with her about receiving this national award recognition for her efforts. Penny, nationally recognised as local hero, what a great thing. Can you give us a few of your comments, please?
Well, it was a real shock to me. I had no idea. I knew about the award because I've known others who've got it in the past, but I feel very humble actually because I know that as far as I'm concerned, I'm a member of a team, and I've worked in Nelson for a long time, but I've always been a member of a team. So to me, it's not about the individual, it's about what we do together. Yeah, to hopefully make things change for the better. It's lovely to think that this award happens around the country because there's lots and lots of people in New Zealand doing wonderful things, and I guess it just gives a chance for a place like Victory Community Centre to be, be known better. Yeah, because I think one of the things I love about working here is that it's a place that belongs to everybody. It belongs to this whole neighbourhood, to this community, and it's well over 20 years since it was this community asked for a place like this that could be theirs, where they could come and participate in things, to contribute in their own ways, and also to get support. So I've always felt comfortable in the 8 years I've been here that I belong here, and that I'm here because this community has asked for it, not because we've said this is what they need. So it's been fantastic working here, and I love it. Every day I walk in here, there's breakfast club happening, or people are at the door ready to get the bread that I pick up from one of the supermarkets, and we can chat, we can have lots of fun together, but also deal with the hard stuff. You know, like today I've had a young woman who's wanted to come and do some voluntary work here, but also needs a place to live, and she's got her own troubles, and to find the right place for her to live is going to be really hard. So we're going to start off going to work an income and making sure she's got some income, but also getting her into a doctor to deal with her health issues, and then connecting her up with other agencies as well, so we can wrap a whole lot of services around her. But at the same time, she wants to come here and give her time, and right now she's cleaning windows. So isn't that fantastic? Yeah.
And like you say, you received the award, but actually you're part of the team, and it recognises the whole team and all the volunteers that we know in our community we just can't do without.
Exactly. And, volunteering is a funny word. I mean, I come from a family that lived in a small community in Canterbury, and my parents were always involved in things, but they never used the word volunteering. It was just being part of the community. And now that word's become, an everyday word in lots of places. But I think it's our way. It's the New Zealand way of people connecting. We're apparently one of the most mobile communities of society in the Western world. We go, living in different parts of the country, different parts of the world. So the ways of belonging is to volunteer, to participate. Yeah.
Penny, thanks very much, and once again, congratulations.
Thank you, thanks. Yeah, and cheers to Victory Community Centre. And just to say that although we're here and we love what we're doing, we're also short of cash, I'm sorry to say. Yeah.
Great, thank you. Last month, before last week's rain in the Nelson Tasman region, Mainland caught up with Tasman Rural Fire Chief Ian Reid over the risk of fire due to the extremely dry conditions the region had been facing. With a few days of rain since then, we could easily become complacent about fire risks. This is perhaps what the fire service is nervous about, especially with fireworks sales beginning last Monday. However, a reminder for us all to take care was made clear on Tuesday morning this week when a passing female motorist in Edens Road Hope prevented what could have been a more serious fire. The woman noticed a small grass fire burning on the side of the road near a hedgerow of trees. She stopped her car and called the fire service. However, the wind quickly fanned the flames to the nearby trees and started spreading towards a large implement shed, engulfing a parked car in the process. The Rural Fire Brigade soon arrived and quickly set about dousing the fire. The vehicle was all but destroyed, but the shed was saved from the fire reaching it. Chrissy Small spoke to the woman driver who said she believed that the fire was likely to have started from someone throwing a lit cigarette from a moving vehicle. So be warned, although we are due for more rain and plants look green, things are still very dry. The Department of Conservation's Conservation Week has run into a bit of a snag, with industrial action being taken by its workers. PSA Union organiser Josh Gardner dropped by our studio to tell us what is going on and why. Josh, thanks very much for coming and talking to us today.
Thanks, Graham.
The PSA Union has got some industrial action coming up with the Department of Conservation. Could you please tell us a bit more about that, please?
Certainly can. So approximately 1,500 of our members are in industrial action across this week being Conservation Week as well. Now they have overwhelmingly taken the industrial action. There was a strike ballot and 95% of our members have voted in favour of rejecting the employer's offer. Our members have not taken this lightly, so industrial action at the present point in time does come at a cost to them personally, and for the working to rule, which is the industrial action that they're taking, the employer can actually reduce their pay by up to 10%. Now, this is legislatively driven, not necessarily something that we support, obviously. And like I say, this was a key factor in showing the members have the drive to take this industrial action. Now, the members are finding it increasingly difficult to continue doing their work when the employer clearly doesn't value them. They are several $1,000s behind the public sector median for the pay scales that we've been shown, and DOC members have over the last several years gone through lots of restructure, including here locally, and to put it plain and simple, they're fairly sick of it, and the goodwill's literally run out.
Sure.
Now, the DOC offer, like I say, was rejected, and part of that was coming through with the industrial plan that the members themselves have endorsed. And this week, being Conservation Week, they're doing the work to rule. Now that means for some of those projects that are out there at the moment for the Conservation Week that they may not be participating. And that was a very hard decision for them because they put many hours into it. They do work longer hours than they're meant to, and that is what we for love, for a better word. However, that won't be taking place, and where that isn't taking place, we're encouraging those organisations to get in contact with ourselves so that we can explain the reasons why.
Sure. And so just one thing you're saying is that working to rule, you can actually be penalised for working to rule.
As horrible as it sounds, yes. So last year the government passed legislation around this, and for working to rule there is a calculation of up to 10% that can be unilaterally applied to those people taking industrial action.
Sure. And just another point, can you discuss with us what you're actually asking of the department? Yeah.
So we were asking for what we believe is a fair and equitable pay increase over this particular point in time. Other organisations have settled sort of between the 2 and 3% mark recently, including the DHBs.
Yep.
The offer that DOC currently has on the table is nowhere near that, which is why we believe, and the members obviously believe in us as well, when we say that we need to give it a bit of a push, show a bit of solidarity, and obviously bring in that community support that sits there for a department such as itself.
Sure. Josh, thanks very much, and best of luck with your actions, and we'll hear from you when you have some sort of outcome.
Yeah, well, thanks very much for the opportunity, and I think we should use this more often.
Great. Thanks very much.
Cheers.
Cool. After the break, we'll bring you the latest weather update and some events and happenings coming up from around the region.
Edward Gibbon, the bathroom specialist, have a great range of bathroom ideas at their showroom at 23 McGlashan Ave in Richmond. Call in and check out some of the latest bathroom designs and fittings. Edward Gibbon, the bathroom plumbing and drainage supply specialist, 23 McGlashan Ave, Richmond.
Why would you want to pay as much as $1,000 for a single bed mattress when you can buy a high quality locally made mattress like this for as little as $220? And a queen size mattress could cost you in excess of $3,000, but at Nelson Beds you could have a mattress like this as low as $425. So why would you go out and spend a fortune on your child's bedroom when you can come to Nelson Beds and buy a complete single mattress and base set, a 7-drawer Scotch chest, a headboard and a 3-drawer bedside cabinet for as little as $979? So call and discuss our custom manufacturing options and local after sales service at Nelson Beds, Nelson's only bedding manufacturer.
Welcome to Smugglers Pub and Cafe, open 7 days a week with free parking all day. Our lunch menus have that fat old-fashioned flavour where we treat you like treasure with the food you'll savour.
We cater for children, grannies and granddads too, with special rates and privileges given to the elderly lunchtime crew. Our staff are friendly and kind and want to see you all come back time after time.
Daytime or evening, it doesn't matter. Give us a call on 546 4084 and we'll be happy to spoil ya.
We're the team at JCar, right here in Nelson, 120 Hardy Street. Our shop is full of electronic items,
including security alarm systems, electronic components,
solar and power,
electronics toys,
sound systems, cables, and much, much more.
JCar. 120 Hardy Street, Nelson.
Viewers are advised that all Mainland TV channels will be off air from 11 AM until midday this coming Monday the 9th of November due to smart meters being installed. The Tinline Discovery Trail Conservation Week event scheduled for Sunday the 8th of November has been cancelled. Department of Conservation apologises for any inconvenience caused and will look to reschedule the event sometime in the future. On behalf of the team here at Mainland Television News, thank you for joining us.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
Hi everyone, I'm Malcolm Harris from the Facilitators. We now look after sales for Mainland TV, radio, Sky and online. New Zealand On Air's latest Colmar Brunton survey confirms Mainland's large multimedia audience. If you're in business or want to put a message out to everyone in the Nelson Tasman region, plus nationwide on Sky or worldwide online, please give me a call or see our website at www.mainlandtv.nz.
Welcome me hearties to Smuggler's Pub and Cafe, famous for hearty meals, craft ales and a friendly service way. Sensational seasonal menus with meals all day and evening too, or sail in for a snack with special menus for young smugglers and you. Settle in for a jolly old time, relax and enjoy our award-winning dining and lovely fine wine. Decked out in an old worldly way, we're open 7 days. Book or come on in to 8 Muritai Street, not far from a beach, walk or swim. Phone 5464084.
Nelson Tire Center. Great prices, great service. Buy your own Bryford trailer. All types, all sizes. See Colin Douglas for your tires and batteries.